ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zach Tassin, and I'd like to welcome you to our channel, Orca Studios. I've decided to start a series called Backyard Films, where we basically recreate scenes from movies. I'm just here to talk a little bit about what helped me decide to make the decision to start a series, and why we wanted to do this, and how we chose our first episode, and we decided to do a scene from The Dark Knight, many people's favorite comic book movie, and many people's favorite interpretation of the Joker. So yeah, stay tuned. And when I first was deciding what scene we were gonna do, I knew I wanted to do something with Batman. I knew that would be I had to do that to kick off our series, because I'm a huge Batman fan. I own tons of comic books, tons of movies, tons of memorabilia. So I knew that's what we had to do. So I looked pretty much into every Batman movie for a scene that I thought would be good for us to do, and I ended up going with the interrogation scene from The Dark Knight. And so the first thing I needed to do was to get the costumes together. And so we were going to make this Batman cowl, because the cowl's the most important thing of a Batman costume. Yeah, so after we got the cowl all together, which ended up looking pretty good, it was just a matter of the rest of the costume. And I had a Batman costume that was from like a brand name costume making company, and it was pretty bad. The only thing I ended up keeping was the rubber chest and the cape, because it had this nice cape that would flow, and it was pretty good material. It was not too light, not too heavy. But so I decided to keep that, and we used those in the episode. And then I had some Batman gloves that I just added onto and made look more Batman-esque. So that costume ended up being pretty good. And it was pretty uncomfortable for Matt, I think, but who cares? He ended up getting through it.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's me. I'm going to BronyCon.
Yeah, he's pretty excited about BronyCon. So, anyways, the next thing we had to do was to get the Joker costume together. And the Joker costume was actually a lot harder to get together than I thought, because I had the perfect shirt. It was very similar to the one he wears, and it was pretty much the same color, and I was just going to draw the little honeycomb pattern on there with a marker. And I ended up doing it anyways, but on a different shirt, because I couldn't find the shirt anywhere. I looked through all my different costume bins, and I looked through my closet and through my dresser, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I ended up having to go up to the thrift store, and I got the shirt, and I came back, and I drew the pattern on there. I am hand drawing all of the little hexagons he has on his shirt, while Matt paints. So once I got the pattern on there, I came back and I just cut out some green fabric out of, I think it was actually out of this kind of fabric, and I took a old gray t-shirt and I cut the arms off, and I cut the back off, and I just attached it to the front that I had made out of this green fabric, and it looked pretty good. It looked like a vest. And then I just took a tie I had from some dance I went to or something. But so I just had the tie, and it looked similar to his, so it was pretty good. This is going to be the front of our green Joker vest. I think it was the back of some kind of sea monster costume, but we're just gonna play around with it and see if we can get it to look a little bit more like a vest, and see how it goes. So once we got the costumes done, I knew the next thing was to familiarize myself with the script. So I actually found the whole script for the scene online, and it's got all the lines and everything. So I started to read the script, and I spent like a week or two learning all my lines and starting to get in character for the Joker. And I gave a script to Matt so he could start to get in character for Batman and start to learn how Batman talks. And he didn't really ever get it down, and I didn't really ever get the Joker's voice down. I mean, no one can replace Heath Ledger ever, especially not me, but it ended up being pretty good. We ended up learning our lines pretty well. But, so that ended up working out, and we just went and we filmed the scene. We went to our friend Mark's house, and we made these mirrors, because they have all these mirrors in the room, and we decided to scale it down, because they have a much bigger room, and they have 6 mirrors on the wall, but we scaled it down and only put 4 mirrors on the wall, because we weren't working in as big of a space, and we didn't need to see the mirrors that often. So, it was pretty good, and we had a good time making all the stuff. Matt came over all that week, and we just put together some stuff, and it was pretty fun. So, I got the idea to do this kind of homemade thing from Homemade Movies, which is another channel on YouTube. I got the idea for this Batman cowl from them. So go check them out. They're pretty good. They've done a lot of scenes from Batman, Star Wars, different horror movies and stuff. So go check them out, and be sure to like this video, like the actual scene we made. If you haven't watched it yet, go ahead and watch that. You probably should have watched that first before you came and watched the behind the scenes, but whatever. And be sure to leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, and leave suggestions for our next scene. We're leaning towards Inception, but it can always change. So thank you for watching, and until next time, live long and prosper.